Bowers is a backup. What I saw of what he had 10 carries, I don't know, maybe give or take some. I would love to see this kid get more carries. I might have misspelled his name, but I mean,
You,
when he fit,
Shane, I think you're right on the money, and that's a great call there. Asking about Bowers because I mean, look, I'm not going to start turning on Jaheim or on Nico. Nico, these are your tried and true, and they've proven themselves. But if you look at the PFF rating for Bowers, he lit it up.
yeah,
Um, and to me, the difference between it's speed versus quickness. Uh, Speed is top end. How fast can you go? And quickness is basically how fast can you change that speed. And I tell you, Bowers has a little bit of an edge on the top end. There's no doubt. If we
yeah.
can pop him free now, Jaheim, he's shifty, man. It's hard to get a hold of him.
No, I was so surprised when I saw Bowers actually get pulled away, and that's something that when Rich Rod was talking about, I need a few guys, I need to do this and that in spring ball. I think this is the guy he was talking about. I think in his mind, he was talking about I need some speed. This is the pull away speed I think he was referring to because Bowers was signed, if I'm correct, after the spring game. So this was the type of cat they're shopping for. And my gosh, did they get a quality back that we're going to see some breakaway, I think some big runs. And if I'm Rich Rod, which I'm not, gosh darn it. But if I'm Rich Rod, I'm gonna be splitting time. It's a long season. I'm gonna give White some time. I'm gonna give Bowers some time, and just like a quarterback, there's enough food on the table for everybody to eat. So,
Well, there was a reason. So, man, you raise a great topic here. So, first of all, Rich said he wants to run 100 plays a game. I don't know that that's possible, but it's a great goal to shoot for. And snapping the ball every 15 seconds, you're going to have a ton of plays. So you're right. Everybody's going to get a chance to eat. And one thing I was really impressed with was the notion that we didn't have a lot of penalties from moving at that speed, which I was pretty happy with that. First game of the season, I didn't know how that was going to go.
surprise!
Thought we handled that well.
I was surprised. I was surprised, Eric. I was blown away at the fact that the ref was getting out of the way. I remember back in the day, the refs were actually in the play sometimes, in the, getting trampled. They got the hell out of the way, and it was fantastic to see these guys run to the line, not kind of jog. They sprinted to the line, got up there, got set, looked to the right, made sure that they were lined up, got the thumbs up, and it was boom, boom, boom. There was a few little cramps there, wink, wink,
Yeah.
that I don't know. Is that a legit cramp, or are you just trying to buy time to figure out what West Virginia is going to run? I would have been cramping up in the first quarter rather than the second or third if I'm a Robert Morris player. Just saying, because if they're tempoing me and I'm trying to figure out what's happening, I know that quad's getting tight. Oh, baby.
I expected to see. I didn't expect to see a whole lot of that against Robert Morris because I think Robert Morris came in here knowing that, yeah, we're coming in here to play a game and give them a good show and pick up a paycheck, and
Yeah.
we're gonna work hard, and that was it. And that's what I saw. They played very respectably, in my opinion.
Oh,
Um,
I thought they were great. Now,
yep.
there was one little bit. I'm going to talk about one negative aspect that kind of concerned me, and that was the offensive line didn't seem to get much of a push there the first quarter.
That's interesting. Please continue.
Well, I just didn't feel like they looked that sharp the first quarter. I didn't see huge gaps. I mean, go now. Here's the thing. I don't know exactly, if it was because maybe my expectations were, I want to see big, huge, gaping holes because Robert Morris's school has 3,800 students. It's a smaller school. They've never played them before. I don't know what to expect, but I thought it was going to be like Wofford or, like Albany or something, but, it just didn't, especially if you're tempoing a team like that. I didn't see that. I didn't see him getting gouged, and going back to, 2 years ago, you had Zach Frazier, you had guys that were NFL caliber offensive linemen. I'm still a little concerned. Are these guys going to be able to just smack people in the head and make those holes for run plays like they've done in the past, especially in the Big 12? And Curtis is right. It was vanilla play calling, but look good.
Well, and that's and Curtis couldn't, he nailed it. From what I saw, and I actually came away from the game with a positive feeling about the offensive line.
Okay.
Not a lot of penalties. Quite honestly, they scored pretty decent. Most of the offensive linemen scored in the 70s, and although that's not super great, it's solid. That's a solid performance from an offensive line which was, largely they're unseasoned. I think between them, I think they have like 30 starts, somewhere 20 to 30 starts somewhere in there. That's nothing. I thought they did solid. And of course, you play a team like Robert Morris, all due respect. You're not going to go to the well on Robert Morris. You're going to keep it simple. Rich has always been that way. Here's the opponent. I've assessed them. And here's the, whatever number of plays offense that you're going to get to run against these guys and to beat these guys.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't make it work with these plays, it's on you. You go out and execute. And I saw that. I think you're right. The first quarter in particular, didn't see him executing. The zone blocking. You're looking to move and get people basically, how should I say, out of sync on the defensive line, so that you create a seam. And once you create that seam, like you said, that's where your back runs up through. I didn't see that either, but they scored well. Didn't see a lot of penalties. They seemed to do better as the game went on. I was pretty happy there. Now, jumping back to the running backs, I think we see now we have a stable of running backs. I think we're going to be okay there. But sure enough, and I shouldn't say that, I just jinxed us. Clay got dinged pretty good, didn't he?
Yeah,
he didn't come back in.
No, I haven't heard like what the injury is. Chad, if you know what the injury is, hit me up. Let me know. I didn't see any reports on that, but we didn't see Edwards. We didn't see Devine.